It is Wednesday. It is the 25th of June. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is CNN News Center, live from Hong Kong. Our top stories today. Will Luis Suarez miss the rest of the World Cup? He is one of the world's most successful and controversial footballers, and now he's facing a lengthy ban for apparently biting an opponent in a World Cup match. The Uruguay striker is accused of sinking his teeth into Italian defender Giorgio Chiellini during their game on Wednesday. In an interview after the match, Luis Suarez dismissed what happened as just a normal part of football, saying it would be too complicated to analyze every collision in a game.
I don't know what they have asked our coach about. The only thing I know is that those are occurrences that happen on the pitch. I just collided with his shoulder. They are just casual incidences that occur during a soccer game.
Well, this is just the latest controversial incident involving the Uruguay player. In 2010, Suarez was banned for 7 games while playing for the Dutch team Ajax. Following the incident in Tuesday's match, Italy then ended up with 10 men after having a player sent off. Uruguay went on to win 1-0, advancing the team through to the next round and sending Italy home. That result makes it all the harder for the Italian fans to accept the referee's lack of action against Suarez.
The referees seem to really be pro-Uruguay, and Suarez bit one of the Italian players.
With Godin, neither.
Suarez's apparent bite also sent the Twitter sphere alight with comments and criticism, plus a crop of photoshopped images. This tweet shows the player with vampire teeth and suggests he change his name to Count Suarez. This photo shows the footballer wearing a bite-protective dog collar. And former boxer. So what else happened during Tuesday's play? Yes, there was other stuff happening. It came down to a late penalty kick for Greece in their match with Ivory Coast. Some people are already talking about the upcoming match between the U.S. and Germany. If the Thursday game ends in a draw, both sides will advance to the next stage. So that's the World Cup stuff out of the way for now, but let's bring you up to date on some of the other stories that we are following here at CNN News Center. Reports say explosions in central Cairo have injured at least 3 people. The Egyptian Interior Ministry has declared a maximum alert. The attacks come just weeks after new President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi was sworn in. There have been no immediate claims of responsibility. A Spanish judge has recommended that Spain's Princess Cristina and her husband stand trial for suspected tax fraud and money laundering. The charges stem from allegations against her husband, who is accused of embezzling millions of dollars in public money. They both deny any wrongdoing. Cristina is the sister of Spain's new King Felipe, who took over the throne just last week. She's escaped the death penalty, but a Sudanese Christian woman has again been detained by authorities. Lawyers for Mariam Yahya Ibrahim say she was stopped on Tuesday on the way to the United States. She has a U.S. visa, but Sudanese authorities say she didn't have the correct documents. The 27-year-old was released on Monday after she was sentenced to death in May for refusing to renounce her faith. Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko says he's considering revoking the current ceasefire to allow Ukrainian forces to retaliate for the downing of one of their helicopters. He blames pro-Russia separatists for the missile strike. Mr. Poroshenko says rebels have attacked government forces 35 times since the unilateral ceasefire was called last Friday. A passenger was killed when gunmen opened fire on a Pakistan Airlines plane Tuesday after landing in Peshawar. At least 1 crew member was injured. The plane was traveling from Coming up here on News Center, Iraqi military forces claim more gains. CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. I'm Monita Rajpal. More U.S. military advisors are expected to land in Iraq. 90 of them arrived on Tuesday. They'll be joining 40 other U.S. troops already working at the embassy in the capital. The advisors, about 300 of them in total, are expected to assess the situation on the ground and assist Iraqi military forces. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Coming up, a special Freedom Project report from Nepal, the horrors of the organ trafficking. The CNN Freedom Project is shedding light on organ trafficking around the world. This week, we head to a town nicknamed the Kidney Bank of Nepal, where hundreds of people have had theirs removed. But they were victims of scams. As Subnima Udas reports, one man says he gave up a kidney because he was told it would grow back.
Now Raj Pariyar makes a living by selling cow's milk.
Let's get a check now of weather conditions. There have been some deadly summer rains in China. Karen McGuinness is at the World Weather Center with more on that. Karen?
Yes, and we do see a little bit of progression as far as the Mayu Bayou front.
Right, Karen, thank you very much. A controversial and self-proclaimed charismatic Chinese billionaire is holding an unusual lunch in New York today. He's paying 1,000 underprivileged Americans to dine with him. It is the latest in one of Chen Guangbiao's publicity campaigns after he unsuccessfully tried to buy the New York Times. Remember him? Well, with more, here's Miguel Marquez. Well, as you heard Miguel mention there, Chen wants to encourage other wealthy Chinese to give to charity. China is home to many of the world's ultra-rich. It's second only to the United States in number of billionaires. You can test your knowledge of this rising global power. Find this quiz on cnnmoney.com. You're watching CNN News Center. I'm Monita Rajpal at CNN Hong Kong. Thank you for joining us. I'll update you the news headlines in just a few minutes.